I'm Angie Bonnie, and I'm really excited that you are exploring the idea of book coaching. So, before we go further, I kind of want to explain how I see book coaching because book coaching is kind of a funny, it's a kind of a funny word because it means so many things to so many people. So for some people, book coaching means accountability. You're going to write something and then you're going to forward it to your book coach and your book coach will say, "Yay, go." But I'm not really that kind of book coach. What I am is more of a content developer, more of a strategist, more of an editor that gets in your document while you work so that you save a whole bunch of time and energy and you don't go down all of these rabbit holes, because it's really easy, especially when you have a lot of ideas, especially when you've got a lot of knowledge, to want to put everything in and put it all over the place, and that's not good. It's definitely not good for a book. So here's essentially how coaching works. So it really depends. Most of the people that I work with, not most, but a lot of the people that I work with come to me with an idea, and it's time. They decided now's the time in their business where they really want the book out there because they want to get out in their field and be seen as an expert and all that stuff, all the reasons you're here looking at the idea of having a book coach. And most people have tons of ideas, and they're trying to decide first and foremost which idea is the idea that they're going to invest their time with. And that's the first thing that we do when we start working together. And then we're creating a scope for the work. So we choose the idea, and then we choose the scope. So what do I mean by scope? Let's say somebody has come to me and they said, "I want to write a book about loneliness." It's a big topic, so we're looking to narrow that topic down. And maybe the narrowing it down would be, how to create friendships and connections after a divorce. We've got the scope, but if we're talking about, for instance, we'll use the example of loneliness. If we're talking about loneliness in the form of how to make connections after a divorce, really we're choosing that topic. We're narrowing that topic down to who is the reader? Who are you writing this book for? And that helps us decide what that scope is. It's based on who the reader is. Now we're gonna clearly define this reader, because if you're in a business that has multiple avatars, if you help divorced women and other people who suffer from loneliness, we're just choosing one of those avatars. We're making that decision together based on our discussion. And we're also talking about what you want this book to do for you. What happens after you have this book out in the world? What do you want your reader to do? That's part of the work that we're going to be doing while we're building out the book, because strategy is really key in this game. So then the work begins. We're going to begin talking through your framework, talking through the stories that you want to share, talking through your story, which part of your story makes the most sense, because your reader wants to know who you are and what you stand for and why you do the work that you do, or why you're interested in the topic that you're going to share with them. So we're going to get super clear on that. So those stories, and what stories are we telling, and which lessons are we going to share with people? Because if you've got tons of information, we've got to curate that content. So our sessions are an hour and a half long, and by the time you click off from me, you know immediately what you're going to write that day. You're going to write this story. You're going to enter the story here. You're going to include this lesson. You're going to include this, supporting material. So you are ready for the next 2 weeks. And that gives you time to formulate. That gives you time to write. It also gives you time to send the Word document back to me at least 2 days beforehand, That way I can take a look at your Word document. I can look at what you have. I can formulate responses. I can decide what you're doing well because you want to know what you're doing well so you can do more of that. Where the issues are. So what's the solution if I see a problem? What would I do instead? And to tell you exactly what I would do instead. Where do I need more information? Where am I confused? Where maybe this material that you've written actually belongs based on what we've talked about as far as structure is concerned. And then we discuss on our next call this my conclusions, my thoughts, your questions, because you're going to have other questions, right? We're also going to talk through on that next section or that next session what you're going to do next, because not only are we addressing and identifying the problems in the material that you've written, and it's horrible material. When you first write, it's so bad, and you're going to be embarrassed to send it to me, and I'm going to tell you, I just want you to write garbage and send me garbage, because that's how we get a book done. So we're going to talk about what's the next pile of garbage you're going to create, because while I'm fixing the garbage over here, while I'm telling you how to fix it, we're still moving forward. The whole goal is to have a complete draft by the time we're done. So typically I work with people for 6 months and we meet every other week. Can we meet more frequently? Yes, I have options for that available. But typically people are busy. They're running a business, they have a family, and they want to include writing time. How much writing time? Writing time I'm looking for is usually 6 to 9 hours a week. I'm looking for you to find 3 2-hour blocks of time or 2 3-hour blocks of time, maybe a little time over the weekend, but 6 to 9 hours, because I fully expect that you're busy. I fully expect that you have other things going on, and we need to navigate that and maneuver around that. If you are not done with a complete draft by the time the 6 months are up, can we continue working together? Absolutely. We would work on a month-to-month basis. But I do need that commitment for 6 months, because at some point, usually around month 2, the project starts feeling hard. And we just want to get through that period. We want to build this out, because month 3, all of a sudden it starts taking shape. Month 4, you've got yourself a book and you are cooking with gas. So questions, will I have a book by the time we finish working? Yes, that depends on you, because I can help you, but I can't do it for you. That's ghostwriting, and I can always talk about ghostwriting with you. What will I do when we're done? Well, you would be ready for publishing. If you work with me or you work with one of my team members, you are going to have a manuscript that fits our bill. Summit Press Publishers, which is the publishing house that I run, we're looking for high quality. We're very, very selective, prescriptive nonfiction. It would fit the bill. We would be a home for your manuscript, and we would discuss publishing. Are there other options for you? Absolutely, we can discuss that. Other questions that people ask me. What if I get really busy and I have to put a pause? We can absolutely put a pause on our work together. But the goal is to keep you moving forward, to adjust here and there. But if you take too much time off in between, it's really hard to get back into it for you and for me or whoever is working on your project. Oh, how long are our sessions? Our sessions are between 60 and 90 minutes. In the beginning, when we're talking ideas and we're talking structure and strategy, it tends to be longer, 90 minutes. But we'll, come to the call and discuss. And by the way, Zoom is the best way to be on a call, because we get to see each other, we get to talk. Okay. Do you have access to me in between? Absolutely. If you're in the middle of writing something and you've got this big question, you're going to shoot me an email. And if I can answer it by email quickly, I will. If it requires a little bit more time to talk through, we'll, set up a call and jump on it and talk through the issues, so you're not wondering what to do and stalling for 2 weeks at a time. I think that's it. Anyway, if this idea sounds great and you want to talk to me, you want to get an idea of who I am other than just this person on a video, If you want to talk about your project specifically, if you've got content already and you just want someone to help you organize it, absolutely we can do that. Um, if you want to talk about, I don't know, this sounds hard, I don't think I have time, and you want to talk about ghostwriting, we can absolutely talk about ghostwriting. But all you need to do is schedule a call and we'll decide if it's a good fit. We'll decide if it's a project that sounds like fun for both of us to work on.